talk about the lessons we have learned under COVID. And these are personal lessons learned. I've learned some few. Nti mwayingira ekintu ate mwagamba Katonda najja yabaleeta. Bisaso ntamu. The channel that talks about education, that talks about skilling, is being self-aware, self-awareness. Make sure you're aware of your strength, of your weaknesses, of your emotions. Yes, wow, you are welcome, everyone, to this YouTube channel, Bisaso ntamu, HM Bisaso ntamu. It's an exciting channel, and for everyone, about education, about marriage, about parenting, about skilling, and I'd like people to subscribe to this channel, because whoever listens to these videos will never be the same again. In most cases, actually, I say you'll be born again when you listen to these videos. Born again in terms of character, in terms of personality, in terms of attitude, in terms of values, in terms of ability, in terms of self-discipline, in terms of self-control. This morning, once again, this is another episode about concerns of stakeholders in schools. The first one was about parents' concerns, and this is about the students' concerns. The students have sent me. And how do I get these concerns? They always communicate to me. As a head teacher for quite a number of years, and a teacher for quite a number of years, and a good parent, the students always write to me. They confide in me. We share a lot with them. They write to me letters, and these are their concerns. I like the parents to listen to them. I like the teachers to listen to them. I like the school administrators to listen to them. And I would like to everybody to listen to them. When you listen to them, you reflect on how you have been dealing with these students, especially adolescents. Now, the students' concerns. The first one is lack of parental care and support. Many of the children, and I would like the parents to know this, many of the children complain so much about parental care, support, love, and emotional that presence in their many parents are not emotionally present in their children's hearts and body. And how do you do that? How do you do this? I've told the parents now and again, and I've told the other teachers now and again, that for a child, for a parent, you must be so deeply involved in your child's life if you want to benefit from that child. And I always say that treat your child as a project. When you produce, actually when you get pregnant, that's when you know that for 25 solid years, you are going to be managing a project, that project for your child. If you want your child to be a doctor, to be an engineer, you must give that child the support and the care. Mind about so much about how they live, how they stay, how they sleep, where do they study, who is their friend, so much. And this is what parents don't do. And many parents, by the way, both men and women these days, in this COVID, after COVID era, many parents are so disappointed with their children. Actually, they are so demoralized. Some of them say, "Oh, man, there are even scenarios of parents saying that my child is in P2 or P5 or P6. Let him go and stay at school." Can you imagine? This is simply because we have lost touch with the reality of our children. So the parents are so concerned, the children are so concerned about parental support and care. Be there for your child. Number two, students are concerned about the teachers who make advances to them. And there are very many teachers who make advances to them. Now, the students are so concerned. They hate it, they don't like it, they treat it as unprofessional, and they don't like it. And I'd like the teachers to know that students out there are so bitter with those teachers who make advances to them. It could be through any other, whether it's a note, whether it's a cheat, whether it's a what. But as long as it's an advance, the students detest it, they don't like it, and in most cases, students lose focus. And I've seen very many children who leave school as a result of this kind of thing. So teachers out there, when you listen to this, kindly take note that children do not want teachers who make advances to them. Then they also don't want parents who don't visit them in school. And I know very many parents don't. And that's unfortunate. And one of the reasons why their children have very poorly perform is simply because they don't feed them. Even if you don't have money, that is your child. There is nobody who's going to take your child, taking on your child. That is your child. And I want to tell parents that as long as you are not emotionally present in your child's heart and life, you will never benefit from that child. Mukama Katonda tasobola kuwa mwana gw'otafuddeko. As long as you don't care, as long as you don't support, you will die suffering. Even if your child becomes a doctor, you'll never enjoy it. Then the other one, the children, especially students, do not want broken families. And the parents, I want to tell you this, and I want to look in that camera. Do whatever it takes, but never break a family. Parents never break a family. Make sure the family is upheld. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you have a lot of money, whether you are what, whether there are problems, make sure never break a family, because it's the foundation of a good country. It's the foundation of a good community. It's the foundation of peace and stability in homes and in countries. Many of those children who have very many challenges, those ones who are what, in most cases, they have broken families. Try as much as possible for your families to be stable. And by the way, many of these children who don't study well, one of the reasons is because they have broken families. The mother stays alone, the father stays alone. So as much as possible, it is a concern for children, especially students, that the mom is alone, dad is alone, and the family is broken. Then the other one, a concern for students, lack of scholastic materials. I'd like to inform the parents that if your child is not favored in terms of scholastic materials, whether it's a pen, whether it's a pencil, whether it's a geometry set, whether it's a section kit, whether it's a textbook, that child will not study very well. And it is a concern. I told you that students write to me. Every term the students write to me, personal letters. And these are their concerns which normally come out. So make sure you provide scholastic materials. The other one are diseases. There are very many diseases, and many of these children are sick. And I'd like the parents to know that before you bring your child back to school, make sure you take that child for testing for various diseases, whether it is asthma, whether it is anemia, whether it is ulcers, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's diabetes. These diseases are now prevalent among children. And the unfortunate part is that by the time the parents know of this thing, it's already too late. I've just been talking to a parent who has told me about a disease, a very funny disease his child has. And that's very unfortunate. You can even cry. But this is something you realize after a very long time. And that child needs a lot of counseling now. And many of the children have these diseases. Now there is COVID-19, there is HIV, there is high blood pressure. I've been telling people that how can a child of 2 years get high blood pressure, 3-4 years get diabetes, either because of poor diet, because of the way of living, and because the parents don't mind so much about how their children feed, about how children live, about whether they do physical exercise or not. So it's important that parents get concerned about diseases. Then the other one are corporal punishments. My fellow teachers and parents, children don't want corporal punishments. It is to try all other methods. Let this one be the last thing you should ever try. It is something that they detest so much. It's something that actually escalates violence in terms of a child. Because when you are violent, the child also becomes more violent. Rather you do counseling, rather you do guidance and counseling, rather you do a lot of talking. Many of these children, by the way, you can talk to them and they can understand. So they can actually appreciate your situation. Just become friendly to them. But corporal punishment, students don't like it. And in most cases, it brings about very many other challenges. It brings a lot of violence in schools, and many of the strikes come simply because of corporal punishment. Then also students are concerned about academic performance, especially teachers who don't deliver very well. They don't want teachers who only give them notes. They don't want teachers who don't explain well. They don't want teachers who dodge. These are concerns the children have been writing to me, and I thought I would share them in this video. So teachers who don't teach very well, teachers who dodge, teachers who abuse, teachers who shout, teachers who do what, the students don't like you, and you'll never make an impact. They will not like you. Even when you teach them, they will not pass, simply because of the way you treat them, especially through dodging them, through missing, through just giving them notes. Then the other one, they have always wanted to be involved in school leadership. And for school administrators, don't just appoint. Let them do these things. Let them practice these things. When they don't practice, these are the challenges we have among people who become eventually dictators and so on. Let them practice democracy. Let them practice leadership. Because leaders, sometimes people say leaders are trained. Others say leaders are taught. Leaders are what? But leaders are born. But let them practice. They always want to be involved. Then finally, they don't want too much class work. I've always told you, and I've shared this, for a student to pass very well, that child must be able to listen to the teacher so that he benefits 10%, he understands 10%, must be able to read on his own to understand 15%, must be able to write to understand the 20%, must be able to discuss to understand the 50%. Then you must be able to cleanse that child's heart. And finally, you must work on the brain through physical exercises and this child drinking water. So in order for a school to have academic performance, which the children demand for, that school must promote reading, must promote writing, must promote physical education, must promote class attendance. But too much class work, it is a problem to students. Thank you so much. I thought the teachers should listen to this video, the school managers should listen to this video, and even the students could listen to this video. Thank you so much, and kindly don't forget to share this video with the students, with the teachers, and with parents. May God bless you.